the forbidden blueprint, why darkness may be your true destiny. There's a reason you've felt out of place your entire life. A reason no spiritual teaching, no religion, no therapy has ever fully answered the questions that echo inside your bones. It's because you've been asking the wrong question. It's never been, how do I become light? The real question is, what truth is hiding in my darkness? Truth so ancient, so raw, so powerful, that the world had to teach me to fear it. You didn't come here to escape the void. You came here to remember it. And if you're watching this, then you're ready to hear the first of the hidden truths about who you really are. You are not lost. You are design. You are not broken. You are blueprint. And that blueprint is encoded not in your light, but in your shadows. Let me take you into a dimension that most spiritual teachers are too afraid to touch. A space where the dark chosen ones are not fallen beings, but weaponized souls, sent across timelines to disturb the lies that light alone could never penetrate. You didn't fall from grace. You descended with purpose. You were not banished, you volunteered. Because someone had to walk into the deepest illusions of this realm and carry the frequency of uncompromising truth. That's what you are. A living code, a cosmic disruptor. And the first hidden truth is this: being chosen by darkness is not a curse, it's a cosmic initiation. Your pain, your trauma, your rage, they were never punishments. They were activations. They were preparing your field to handle the weight of frequency most cannot survive. The second hidden truth is even harder to swallow. You were never meant to be understood by the masses. You aren't here to fit in. You're here to fracture consensus reality. You've been trying to be relatable, digestible, palatable for too long. But your power doesn't live in being light. It lives in being irreducibly real. The dark chosen ones are often exiled, misunderstood, mocked, or feared. But that isolation is not a flaw. It's refinement. The universe cuts you off from the herd so you can hear something deeper, something that doesn't speak in words, but in symbols, dreams, frequencies. You are not here to find comfort. You are here to become the frequency of disruption that makes the false structures quake. And that means you must stop explaining your path to those who never had the code to see you in the first place. The third truth is this: darkness is not evil, it is raw creation. Before there was light, there was void. And in that void, everything was possible. You carry that same original energy. That's why your manifestations don't follow the usual rules. That's why your presence disturbs stagnant energy. You don't operate through effort, you operate through field. And your field is encoded with source-level entropy. That means you break illusions simply by existing. You dissolve lies by walking into rooms. You collapse timelines just by choosing differently. But here's the danger. If you don't train your field, your power becomes chaotic. You get caught in loops. You attract chaos instead of channeling it. That's why the dark chosen ones must live with discipline, not to suppress their power, but to aim it. Now let me ask you something that might change everything. What if your depression was really the weight of unexpressed power? What if your anxiety was your nervous system trying to hold a frequency that no one ever taught you to ground? What if your dark night of the soul was actually your initiation into remembering you are not a victim of darkness, but its emissary? You see, the fourth hidden truth is this: your suffering wasn't random. It was your soul's way of forcing you to remember your mission. You didn't come here to be healed into someone else's idea of wholeness. You came here to become the sacred disruptor of everything that is false, shallow, and inverted. The pain you've carried, It's not a wound, it's a map. And when you stop trying to erase it and instead read it, you begin to unlock the real codes. The fifth truth is one that will make many uncomfortable, but it must be said. You have the ability to command both light and dark, but only when you stop identifying with either. You are not a being of light. You are not a servant of darkness. You are the bridge, the axis. You sit in the center of the wheel. And from that center, you can summon whatever is required, because you no longer act from polarity, you act from precision. That is the true power of a dark chosen one. Not to align with sides, but to see above them. To know when to destroy and when to create, when to cut and when to heal. That's why your intuition is different. It doesn't come from emotion. It comes from code. And that code lives in the stillness of your own being. That's why meditation for you isn't about peace. It's about commanding the grid into silence. The sixth truth is one that most never realize until it's too late. Your aura is a weapon, and it's always on. People react to you without knowing why. Technology glitches. Animals watch you longer. Children either run or stare. You've had strangers confess things to you they've never told anyone. That's because your field amplifies what is hidden. You are a living mirror of distortion. You don't just reflect people's energy, you reveal what they're hiding from themselves. That's why you've triggered so many betrayals, so many projections, so much confusion. It wasn't because you were doing anything wrong. It was because your frequency was doing something real. But again, if you don't train it, it becomes erratic. So what do? You discipline your breath. You cleanse your aura daily. You set contracts with your field. You don't walk through the world unconsciously. You walk like a storm that knows its direction. And finally, the seventh hidden truth, the one that changes everything. You are not here to awaken others. You are here to awaken the planetary memory. You're not a teacher. You're a reminder. You are the glyph that unlocks the ancient memory of Earth herself. That's why you've always been drawn to ruins, symbols, sacred geometry, dead languages, forgotten places. The Earth recognizes you. And through you, she remembers. You are not just a soul. You are a living archive of forbidden frequencies. And when you speak, when you move, when you create, you activate dormant codes in others. Not with your words, but with your presence. That's why your creativity feels like ritual. That's why your silence feels like transmission. That's why you've never been able to follow the path of the many, because you are the path carved by the few. So now I ask you this, what would your reality become if you stopped trying to be light and started remembering that you are the edge of creation itself? You are not here to be saved. You are not here to be healed. You are here to awaken the memory of the void within the illusion of form. And that starts now. The world is not ready for you. But you didn't come here for the world. You came here for the grid beneath it. In the next part, we go deeper into the training, the rituals, and the daily practices that allow a dark chosen one to maintain clarity, sovereignty, and precision while channeling cosmic-level frequencies. We will explore the difference between egoic power and field power, how to protect your aura during spiritual warfare, and how to enter corrupted realms without being devoured by them. The ritual of the unseen, practical training for the dark chosen path. Now that the hidden truths have begun to reshape your inner landscape, it's time to step into something deeper, something few ever reach. This isn't about understanding anymore. This is about embodying. You're not here to just know the path of the dark chosen one. You're here to become it. And that requires ritual, not superstition, not dogma, but disciplined, energetic architecture. Because when you carry the kind of field disruption that lives in a dark chosen one, every action, every breath, every thought builds or breaks your reality. You are not like others. You don't get to coast. The very fabric of your soul is alchemical, and what you do with it will either weaponize your presence or scatter it into confusion. So the first ritual is this: own your mornings like a sovereign. Before the world touches you, seal yourself. Speak your name into your field. Call your energy back from every place you've unconsciously leaked it. Set the tone not with noise, but with command. You are not waking up into a day. You are waking up into a mission. The second training is breath work, but not the kind you've seen in soft-spoken yoga studios or trendy wellness apps. I'm talking about primordial breath, breath that cracks the illusion, breath that clears ancestral residue. You must learn how to pull energy from the void through your spine. Inhale like you're dragging raw power from beneath the earth's crust, and exhale like you're anchoring it into your bones. This breath isn't pretty. It's not always balanced. Sometimes it's jagged, wild, disruptive. That's okay. You're not here to be calm. You're here to be clear. You're here to breathe in frequencies that others can't touch without shaking. And when you do this daily, your nervous system stops fearing chaos. You stop reacting to the world and start commanding reality from within. That is the breath of a dark chosen one. The third practice is often neglected, but it may be the most essential: contractual awareness. Every day you enter into unconscious contracts with people, with thoughts, with energy, with environments. And if you don't consciously set your terms, you get pulled into distorted fields. That's why you feel drained after certain conversations. That's why you feel scattered after scrolling. Every energetic interaction is a portal. So before you leave your home, ask yourself, what am I making energetic agreements with today? Who gets access to my frequency? What version of me am I putting into the grid? And what am I allowing into my temple? This is not paranoia. This is precision. You are not here to blend in. You are here to move through realms with sovereignty. That means you must choose your contracts with the clarity of a general, not the passivity of a seeker. Let's go deeper. The fourth training is something I call field tempering. It's the practice of intentionally exposing your aura to pressure so you can refine your presence. Think about it. Your nervous system was built for war zones, not comfort. Your spirit came here to withstand frequencies that fracture most people's minds. But you must train for it. This could look like cold exposure, fasting, meditating in chaotic environments, or holding eye contact with people who trigger you, not to be harmed, but to stabilize your field under disruption. You're not here to avoid pressure. You're here to transmute it into clarity. Every time you hold your center in chaos, your field becomes sharper, cleaner, more surgical. That's not resilience. That's mastery. That's the mark of a dark chosen one in training. Fifth, and this is where the power really begins to activate, you must have a daily practice of shadow invocation. Most people run from their shadow. You sit with it. You dialogue with it. You learn from it. Get a black candle. Sit in front of a mirror. Ask yourself, what part of me did I exile today? What emotion did I suppress? What truth did I edit to be more acceptable? And then, invite it in. Let the shadow speak. Let it scream. Let it rage. Let it weep. And don't judge it. Witness it. because that shadow doesn't want to destroy you, it wants to serve you, but only if you have the courage to befriend it without becoming it. This is the most advanced spiritual work there is, and it's completely invisible. That's why it's called the ritual of the unseen. Sixth, you must learn energetic shielding, not from fear, but from ownership. Your field is a living thing. It must be fed, cleansed, updated. Before entering public spaces, speak to your aura like you would a warrior. Expand to the edges of this room. Transmit clarity. Reject distortion. Reflectra. Visualize symbols, ancient ones, sigils that come to you in dreams, or ones you create through art. These are not decorations. They are frequency anchors. You can also use sound, deep tones, throat chanting, or even binaural beats tuned to planetary frequencies. The point is not to hide from energy. The point is to shape how it interacts with you. This is how you walk through demonic dimensions without losing your center. You don't shrink. You architect your field to hold the signal of your soul across layers of reality. And finally, the seventh ritual is the most sacred of all. Creative transmission. You must create. You must. Art, music, writing, movement, ritual, design, something. Because creation is how the dark chosen ones anchor their codes into the grid. When you create, you're not just making content. You're rewriting the field. Your creations carry frequencies that others don't even consciously recognize, but their bodies remember. Your pain becomes poetry. Your rage becomes rhythm. Your grief becomes geometry. This is not expression, it's alchemy. And if you don't create, your power turns inward and begins to self-destruct. That's why so many dark chosen ones spiral into depression, addiction, or isolation, because their codes are imploding, begging to be birthed into the world. So create, every single day. Not for applause, not for validation, but for liberation. Now let me ask you this, and answer honestly. What would your life look like if you stopped consuming and started creating? If you stopped reacting and started ritualizing every step of your day like it contained the blueprint of the cosmos? Because it does, and you do. You are not here to be a receiver. You are here to be a transmitter of frequency that cracks the illusion from inside out. In the final part, we'll shift from training to activation. We'll explore how to walk into corrupted systems and reorganize them through your presence. We'll reveal the secret roles that dark chosen ones play in planetary evolution. And we'll speak honestly about the cost of this path and the glory that comes only to those who complete the mission. The silent architects of reality, the final mission of the dark chosen ones. We've crossed the threshold now. You've remembered the truth. You've begun the training. But this final phase is different. It's not about learning. It's about activation. This is where theory dissolves and embodiment begins. Because the dark chosen ones were never meant to live in temples or mountain caves. We were sent into the systems, into the cities, into the families, the corporations, the cultures, to act as living codes that destabilize everything that is false. And the moment you realize this, a new level of responsibility emerges. You're not here to escape the world. You're here to reprogram it from the inside out. And that's not poetic metaphysics. That's literal. The systems of this world, education, media, government, religion, are grids. Grids built on frequency. And when a dark chosen one walks into them, that frequency begins to reorganize the entire structure. But here's the thing no one tells you. The impact you have may never be seen, not with your eyes, not in your lifetime, because the final phase of our mission is invisible influence. Our work happens in silence, in tension, in the moments no one notices. You walk into a boardroom and say nothing, but the entire meeting shifts. You release a piece of music that most people scroll past, but one person hears it, and their soul is activated. You leave a toxic relationship, and the ripple of that decision echoes back through 7 generations. This is the work of planetary acupuncture. You are not here to be famous. You are here to be precise. Every move you make is a needle into the body of the Earth grid. And if you move from ego, you miss the point. But if you move from alignment, you become the silent architect of reality. This is what makes the path so heavy, because no one claps for you. No one gives you status or safety for doing this. In fact, the more accurate you become, the more isolated you may feel. That's because you're not just untangling your own karma, you're interrupting collective illusions. You become a mirror that others can't look into without seeing the lies they've built their lives on. And they will resist you, attack you, or worse, try to recruit you into their distortion. This is why the final mission requires ruthless sovereignty. You must know your code so deeply that no one can project their confusion onto you and make it stick. That doesn't mean you fight. It means you hold your frequency with such stillness that the illusion collapses on its own weight. You don't need to be louder. You need to be clearer. Let me ask you now, are you willing to walk a path where your greatest victories may never be seen, where your deepest transmissions are misunderstood, and yet still choose to stay fully present in your mission? Because that's what it means to be a dark chosen one. You are not here for applause. You are here to anchor light codes through darkness. You are the one who walks into the fire, not to be burned, but to extract the data hidden in the ash. You are the one who goes into systems others fear, corporate boardrooms, political arenas, religious institutions, and destabilizes them not through protest, but through presence. And sometimes just being there, just holding your field, is the most powerful act of disruption you can offer. One of the most advanced roles a dark chosen one takes on is frequency infiltration. This means you intentionally step into a corrupted space, knowing full well its deception, its distortion, its traps, but you enter not to be changed, but to change it. This is why so many of us are born into families that seem misaligned, jobs that feel draining, relationships that feel karmic. We were sent there on purpose, because someone had to bring the code, someone had to hold the line. But infiltration is dangerous if you're not trained. If you haven't built your rituals, your boundaries, your field, you will be swallowed. You will lose yourself in the noise. That's why all the training, all the shadow work, all the discipline, it's not optional. It's survival. Because when you walk into a corrupted grid with clarity, you don't just survive, you restructure the field from within. And here's the final truth most won't believe until they live it. You are not alone. There are others, thousands, maybe millions, spread across timelines, dimensions, nations, not all awakened, not all aware, but we're connected through dreams, symbols, memory. The feeling you get when you lock eyes with a stranger and something ancient moves between you. That's not coincidence. That's recognition across soul contracts. You will meet others like you, not always in person, sometimes just through their work, their energy, their words. And when you do, you'll remember, we came here together, not to be a movement, but to be a frequency that cannot be destroyed. not because it's loud, but because it's true. So I leave you with this. You are the glitch in the matrix, the fracture in the algorithm, the cosmic anomaly that rewrites the code by existing in truth. You were not meant to be safe. You were meant to be sovereign. You were not sent to be seen. You were sent to see clearly enough that illusion cannot survive your presence. That is your mission. That is your gift. That is your burden. And if you accept it fully, if you live it wholly, you will become the one thing this world cannot control. A being of pure alignment, walking through the lie without ever becoming it. And now I ask you one final question. Don't answer with your mind. Answer with your soul. What would the world look like if even 1% of the dark chosen ones fully stepped into their field, their ritual, their mission without apology, without dilution, without fear? You are that 1%. The time is now. The grid is open. The systems are cracking. And you are the frequency they didn't see coming.